All right, today we're talking about a tool that isn't just another step forward for coding assistance. It's a giant leap. It's called Claude Code, and it is seriously changing the entire game for software engineers. Okay, let's just start with this, because it's pretty wild. This is a real quote from a developer using this tool. They're talking about engineering onboarding. You know, that slow, painful process. And it went from 2 or 3 weeks down to just 2 days. That's a reduction of over 90%. Just wow. Yeah, I know, right? How is that even possible? That's the question that really hooked me. And to get the answer, you gotta understand what Claude Code is, and more importantly, what it isn't. It's probably not what you're picturing.
See, the thing is, this isn't just another plugin for your IDE, like a souped-up autocomplete. No, this is different. It's an agent that lives right where a ton of developers do their best work, the command line. It's basically a conversational AI partner right there in your terminal.
So I use this word agentic. What does that actually mean? It means it works on its own. You don't tell it what to type, you tell it the goal. You can literally say something like, hey, refactor our auth service to use the new database schema. And it just does it. It figures out the steps, works across all the different files, and gets it done by itself. But here's where it gets really, really interesting. Its power isn't just about generating new code. It's also about making your existing code safer. It has this incredible built-in ability to be your personal security expert.
I mean, it can run a complete security audit on your code base. It sniffs out all those nasty, critical problems that keep engineers up at night. We're talking the big ones: SQL injection, cross-site scripting, XSS, and even really subtle flaws in how you handle authentication.
And the best part? Look how simple it is. You don't need to configure some complicated tool or sign up for another service. You just type /security-review. That's it. You get this super powerful enterprise-level security scan right inside your workflow before you even push your code. That's a game changer. Okay, so it's obviously powerful, but how does it really compare to the other big names out there, like Cursor or GitHub Copilot? Let's get into the data, because the way these tools work is fundamentally different. And this table really lays it out. You've got 3 totally different approaches here. GitHub Copilot, that's your classic IDE extension for quick suggestions. Cursor goes a step further. It's a whole IDE built around AI. But Claude Code is in its own lane. It's a terminal agent, and its whole purpose is to handle those big, messy, multi-file projects that need a deep understanding of the entire code base. But if there's one number you need to remember, it's this one: 1 million. That's its token context window. And that single number is the technical superpower that makes everything else possible. So, what on earth does 1 million tokens mean in the real world? Well, it's roughly 30,000 lines of code. Think about that. It can hold your entire code base in its head at once. It sees everything, understands the connections, and never loses context. That's how it can pull off those crazy, complex refactors that touch dozens of files. And listen, this isn't just talk. There's a benchmark called SWE-bench, and it's basically the gold standard for testing AI on real, difficult software engineering problems. Claude Code scores an incredible 80.8% on it. So yeah, we have the data to prove this thing actually works. Okay, so this is where we zoom out to the really big picture, because a tool this powerful doesn't just make you faster. It changes the job itself. We're seeing this massive shift in what it even means to be a software engineer. You're no longer just an author, you're becoming an orchestrator. I saw this quote from an academic paper that just nails it. Think about it. For decades, code was this precious thing you had to create by hand, line by line. It was scarce. Now, with tools like this, code is becoming abundant. It's a commodity you can generate whenever you need it. So the value isn't in typing the code anymore. And this image, this is the perfect way to visualize it. The old way was like a pyramid. The huge base was just knowing the syntax, writing the code. High-level architecture was that tiny little point at the top. Now, that pyramid is flipping upside down. The syntax part is becoming the small point. It's automated. The massive, valuable part is now all that high-level stuff: strategy, system design, and making sure the whole thing actually works. Let's break it down even simpler. In the before era, your main job was writing code, and the biggest headache was getting the syntax right. Now, in this new AI era, your main job is directing the AI, strategic orchestration, and the biggest headache is making sure the code the AI wrote actually does what you meant for it to do. The problem has moved from syntax to semantics. So what's your new job description? It's all about specifying your intent clearly, verifying the outcome, and managing these AI agents to build complex systems. That is a completely different skill set.
Okay, let's get practical for a minute. A tool that changes your entire job has gotta cost a fortune, right? Well, let's look at the actual price tag, because it's probably not what you're expecting.
Basically, you've got three main options depending on who you are. If you're just dabbling or working on a side project, the pay-as-you-go API is super cheap, maybe $5 a month. If you're a professional using it every day, that $20 Pro plan is probably where you'll land. And then for the real power users, the ones who basically live in the terminal, you've got the max plans.
But here's the catch, and it's a really important one for pros. Because the tool constantly has to read your whole code base to keep context, the raw API can get surprisingly expensive if you use it a lot. That's where the flat rate max plan becomes a no-brainer. It can end up being way, way cheaper if you're a heavy user.
And I'm not just making this up. Check out this case study. One dev tracked their costs for 8 months. Using the pay-as-you-go API, it would have cost them over $15,000. On the max plan, about $800. That's a 93% savings, absolutely insane. So this all leads to a kind of uncomfortable conclusion, right? This tech is creating a massive gap. You're gonna have developers who use these tools and developers who don't. And the difference in what they can accomplish isn't gonna be small. It's not 10 or 20% better. We're talking exponential.
And that really leaves us with the final takeaway here. The question isn't whether you should adopt AI tools anymore. That ship has sailed. The real question you should be asking yourself is, how quickly can I master them? I'll leave you with that to think about.